This is Justin AMZN on Wednesday, August 14th, 2019. We sold off hard today. We had the rally yesterday, and I'm guessing not many people thought that we would be opening right at the open of this massive bullish candle today and selling off from this point. You can see pre-market right here, and then as the market opens, the first two candles show some buying, some lower wicks here. That was the same buying as yesterday, that same location in this area here. So people were buying this today, looking to get in on just another rally. It's just going to continue to go up, and this was a rude awakening because it trapped a whole lot of bulls up here. And we were talking about not being bearish yesterday at all through this. It just kept bounced off of 1815 a couple of times, and then today opening up in the 1700s, and pretty quickly broke down. Had a really nice high wave candle. The second candle of the day that broke down. This is the uptrend channel we've been looking at. Retested into that with another high wave candle that sort of broke down into a triangle here that had a retest of this high wave, and that rolled over. Each of these candles here at 855 and here at 925 gave you great opportunities to get in bearish and just ride this thing lower. And then it came right down into the lower end of the channel and just really went sideways down there the rest of the day. There were a couple opportunities to get in, continuing to get in bearish here, and off the 21, and then a little bit choppiness through here. But depending on which option, you had some opportunities to get in at key levels on the options themselves. So on the daily, we have just gapped down and opened basically right on the 5. Although when it opened, the 5 was not here, obviously. It's looking for the closing price, so the 5 got pulled down as it moved down and closed here. So probably as it opened today, it was still gapping way below the 5, and then just as we ran down, the 5 moved lower. Going off of the price from yesterday, I mean, the 5 exponential being right around this uptrend channel, and getting back into this channel itself, now we've actually gapped down where I kind of is expecting us to stay below this. So but I don't remember saying yesterday this feels too high up here, we shouldn't be here, or even this day it feels like we shouldn't be back up in this range yet. But I definitely didn't say it, and I was thinking, okay, maybe we'll get some sideways action here, and it's just been too volatile to stay in one area for too long. I mean, it did for a couple of days here, but already we're gapping down with the bearish gap and go, and taking out yesterday's low. So anybody who was buying in these days probably got stopped out, which meant more selling. And it's just a matter of, are we going to get some sort of fluke day like this again where we rally? Or are we going to continue to break down and move lower? So this X marks the spot for the 14th up here at about 1815. Did not work out. And we'll see if for the 15th, tomorrow, we can get into this price down at 1747. It's not that far to go to get down here. So that'd be a nice target. But I think that we would continue moving lower if we do go in that direction tomorrow. I was trying to figure out the exact shape going on here. It's not really a triangle. We had the stair step and a gap up and a retest, and then it looked like it was sort of forming a double bottom, but it broke down from here instead of continuing even up into the 21. And so it's a little bit more of an accumulation where people are buying in, and it's just chopping sideways, and it's got just a really large range that it's doing that with. So it's just a matter of which way do we go. Do we continue to channel sideways here and bounce back and forth some more, and we're just in this range, just a wider range than say what we did back here, because this was just going sideways for a while, a long while, a couple of months. So, we've got a similar range here as we do here. And, you know, bulls got trapped, bears got trapped in a number of different places as this went sideways for months. Could we be doing that sort of consolidation here and it'll be going for months? I don't know. I don't know if we're ready for that. It seems like there's a lot more bearish momentum that is getting ready to fire lower. And we don't have a squeeze showing up anywhere in here. We just have, kind of some of these moves lower. And, we're, again, held down by the 5 exponential like we were through this move. And we're kind of, we contended with that this morning and continue to roll down. So all that to say, I don't know. And we're just going to continue to look at the chart and see where things are taking us. So getting back into the 5-minute, high wave candle here. That was at 8:35 and then 8:55 and then 9:25. So let's go look at the puts to see, okay, right at the open, this is the 1750 put. And right at the open, or I'm sorry, the 5-minute candle after the open, so at 8:35, we had this candle make less than $100 range, and so you really could have been getting into this with a close above it, or at least a move above it, probably not a close. Getting in like 675 by like 575, something like that, to do $100, and looking for that to fill. If you missed that one, which would have been still pretty quick, but if you missed getting in on the next candle here, you have an opportunity to get in. You just had to pay up a little bit more. This was getting in, probably doing something like 8x7. This candle's range was a little bit more than $1, and then the other one was at 9.25, and this one was back less than $1. So you could have been setting this one up, either getting in like 8x7, like you did, like you were looking for here, and you got the opportunity on this candle, or you waited for this candle and got in above it. It's like 875 by 775 and do $100 that way. Any of the ways you played that, as long as you were risking, $100 risk, you could have just held on as it broke down and got into the lower end of that channel. And that was, I think, around 15 here. Let's see if we go back. So it didn't quite touch it here, although that would have been a nice exit at the low there. But right at 11 o'clock, we pushed through that level. And so 11 o'clock is, that's right here. Okay, so maybe probably would have been set at like 15, because we didn't quite get there here, and then we were pushing to it, and maybe you just exit at 15, or maybe had it set at 16, looking for it to get there. But that's a pretty far away target. And so, it would have been tough to be holding to that, especially if we can just locked in profit and be done for the day. So, if you had gotten in down here, let's say at like 7 or at 8 or something, holding to 16, you're doubling or more than doubling where you entered. It's a phenomenal trade. That's a great setup. And I don't know if you would have, I don't know if I would have held on that far to double it, but totally possible. The other opportunities to get in here, this is, again, on the puts, buying at 11, worked here and here, and looks like it didn't work here, but still buying at 11 and getting out, for 2R even at 13, that would have worked here, and then would have worked down here. And this, after this one ran up to like, 17, you could have been going for it again here, getting in at 11 and going for 17 and seeing it not get there. And so you've trailed your stop up, and you're probably actually trailed out at like 14 or something as this pulls back. Or you had moved your stop too early here, and you moved it up to 12, and you only locked in an R as it does this candle, this kind of hammer, just to rally without you, And so that can mess with your head too. When you move your stop too early and you get stopped out, just see it continue on. That's probably happened to a lot of people. So that's the puts. That's, mitigating your risk, looking to get in bearish, and any number of opportunities here is where those prices were at, where you could have been getting in, around 11 by 10 or something to do the setup and just hold on to the trade. If you wanted to, you could have gone out a little further, like the 1700. The 1725 didn't really have a lot of volume. The 1700, much smaller range, and still it could have been buying like in this candle, you know, getting in like 2 by 1 or 2 by 150, something like that, or just getting in right above this candle. So like 185 by 135 to do $50, and then you're getting into two of those and just letting that run. And you could have just every 50 cents you could have been setting up another trade to get in, So, getting in 2 by 150, getting in 250 by 2, getting in 3 by 250. All of these were working on its way up, as long as you just set it up after you missed the low down here, and it would have been filled on the next range. And it didn't come back down to hurt you or to not work until it did this kind of pullback here. And, that would have been getting in. So let's see, if you got in probably in here, 3 by 250. So you're getting in, I guess after this pullback, maybe you're getting in 350 by 3. Actually, that would have filled here. And then this one probably would have been stopping out as you get in like 4 by 350 over here, and to see that not work. But any of these places you could have been buying on its way down, and it was over here that it started to chop a little bit more, and it looked like it was starting to reverse. And so I don't know if you would have been going bearish there after missing all of this, or just trying to play it again, and after you've made a lot on this. So you just got to know kind of where you're actually playing it and what's going on. But there were opportunities all day long to get in bearish at a lot of these levels, and even bullish. This is the 1800 calls. Nice small range once we sold off, and didn't really make it through a 2-hour move. But you could have been setting something up, with the 1800 call, getting in like 550 and riding it up to 650. Counter trend, get an R and done, and it looks like maybe 550 riding up to 650 could have worked again over here potentially. Otherwise, you would have been would need to have been closer to at the money or in the money to really see the range and see the movement of the option. But it just really wasn't there. Bullish on something a little further away, just didn't work out. So we'll see where we're going to go. This looks really ominous that this big sell-off took, 2.5 days kind of to come down from this level. And then we've moved from after hours, from pre-market, moved pretty much the same range from pre-market to, mid to late morning, I guess around noon hour, where we actually moved further than this. I didn't measure this move, but going from 1830 down to 1775, and then going from really about the same level, the same high here, down even further. Let's see, this was around 1830 or so, and came down to around 1760 down here. So from the same level, just about the same level, we pushed lower by nearly 20 points, 15 to 20 points. So much stronger sell-off here. I don't know that it's done. It'd be really interesting to see what we do in the morning to see if we're going to continue to just kind of chop around right here and then collapse, because back when we were interacting with this level over here, we kind of chopped around and then broke down after hours, and then we were right back up in this range the next 2 days after this, and then had a rally. These are really nice pullbacks here, and we're not getting anything here that looks like this. So there's a little more volatility going on, whereas some of this was a little more directional and had some clear moves. This has been bearish and then somewhat indecisive here. And even up here, this was really bullish and then somewhat indecisive. And so if you can eye those setups as the market's opening, or wait and be patient for these things to play out, you can definitely be rewarded and be on the right side of the trade for that to happen. So we'll see what happens the next couple days to wrap up this week. And I would not be surprised if we had another big sell-off or any sort of retracement and then sold off. But I think that's some of where we're going. If somehow we find ourselves up closer to the 21, we shouldn't be up that high. just doesn't seem like we should be up that high. From here, what's going on with these candles does not look like this. It just doesn't, seem to be that we should be up around the 21, and we were running up from down here to do that and then just continue to rally. So, if we get it closer to 21, that's something that I'll just have to make sure I set up the right trade to risk an R and go bearish up at this point, or wait for the right setup to come to me. Is a better way of putting it. So just be patient. If it does get up there, don't try and call the top. And if some people were trying to call a top yesterday, saying it's going to rally, it's going to continue, it's going to top up here, well, they were sorely wrong today and trapped a lot of them thinking that up here. Yeah, so just be careful, know your risk, and hope this helps. This is Justin AMZN. Thanks.